everybody, and welcome back to The New Nasty Boys. I'm your co-host this morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you decide to watch or listen to this thing, Billy DeVore. And sitting next to me is co-host...
Chris Weir! Welcome back to the Fart Dungeon, Nasty Nation. How you been?
They're good, dude. They're all horned up and ready for you,
Yeah,
dude.
welcome to 2024, y'all.
Oh, baby!
Well, I know you guys had a pod so far in the new year, but this is the first time, first time in the new year. Back down here, I think, yeah.
Yeah, in the fart hole.
Yep, things are still the same, still stinks down here.
That's not true. That's not all the same. You got your record player up and working.
Oh, yeah, it's a new addition. I love it. I think I'm going to find a brand new hobby here, and it's been so much fun.
And it's an expensive one. And the worst thing is that it's a good thing and the bad thing, but the worst thing is that it takes up so much space. And hopefully you never move again.
Yeah, I'm not planning on it.
It's heavy. Mm-hmm. It's so heavy.
Yeah, I got to play the George Collins, the first one that we've had like over there, just hanging out in the background. I got to put that on as the first one. I was so stoked.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't think it would work.
Isn't it nice to listen to comedy on vinyl?
Yeah, I mean, it's such like an old album, too. I was just surprised. George Collins was barking at me in the room all of a sudden. Yeah.
Sit on the couch, you close your eyes, and you're like, I can imagine where this is. Mm-hmm. You can fill in the blanks of what he's doing.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's like, I get it, George. You're on the plane. Love it. Super cool. That's a new addition.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice and warm and fuzzy when it's like, you can't say these words on TV. It's very great.
Oh, man, I just got that book Outrageous. Speaking of stuff you can't say, it's that Cliff Nesteroff. Mm-hmm. It's good. It's good. He wrote that The Comedian's book.
The Comedian's book.
You've seen the photo. It's like looks like the fucking Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club album, but with comics.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but speaking of outrage, that's something fun.
I'll have to pick that up.
You have to check it out.
I have to read it. Mm-hmm. God, now you're making me read. What the?
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. How was the New Year?
It was great. It was super fun. We hung out.
Yeah, we did.
We had a great time. We had our New Year's Eve bash. I did not watch the sunrise this year, which was a nice change of pace. Mm-hmm. We have an ice-shaped, ice-shaped. You know how ice takes shape. Uh-huh. A wiener-shaped ice luge. Uh-huh. Did you take a shot out of it?
Yeah, I did. I sucked the straw out of that thing. Yeah.
Ooh, tequila.
Uh-huh. UTI.
Yeah, to clear it out, what we have to do is we flush the tequila down, then we pour cranberry juice down the top. Yeah. Clears straight through the passage. You're good.
That almost made me throw up, legit. Like, because it was so much. It was tequila in the back of your mouth all of a sudden. And I almost threw up on your basement floor.
Because it just hit the back of your throat?
Yeah, much like something else that would shoot out of a phallic like that. It got me in the very back. It was very... extremely salty. I didn't appreciate it. And everyone's high-fiving around me. I said, stop filming! Stop filming!
The whole time they're pouring it down, you're just like, just don't get in my hair!
That was really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that was a great time. I brought back some beer, and I got somebody's rum aged. It was like a beer aged in a rum barrel. And it was the nastiest thing I think I've ever tried in my life.
That sounds like something Holmes brought.
Yeah, it mixed in with I had a 6-pack of Guinness, and I brought like a few of them home, and one of them was like that rum thing.
Yeah.
It's like, when I was having it, I was like, oh, this isn't a Guinness. And I poured it, and I went to drink it, and I was like, oh my God, I dumped it all out. And I was like, whoever likes this is an alcoholic. It tastes like the way liquor would for like if you were like a bootlegger or something like. If it was made like bathtub gin, that's what it tasted like.
This was made out of copper in someone's backyard.
Yeah, this was made under darkness with oppressive law and no love.
And Pete's source was firewood.
Yeah.
Oh God,
it was awful. But
that's terrible.
The night was great. I had
was
really
so
fun.
We had a great time, and then then last week. Same old. But you did a show that you wanted to talk about. That was how do we put this? It was in a unique location for a fun group of folks.
Oh yeah, Lifestyles group. That's what they were billed as. But it was a bunch of swingers. Did a show that was cool. So I totally forgot about that. We did a. I was talking all about that, the New Year's stuff, but not the swinger thing. So yeah, before Billy's party, got to do a show with one of my buddies, Tabari, and it was at this hotel in Blue Ash that was for a bunch of swingers. They had like this whole like convention that was there. As soon as you walk in, they had like a table set up. They had like hedonism stuff playing. And it was like a really big hotel.
Lots of pineapples upside down.
There was a ton of upside down pineapples. And everyone was like, there was like a color coordinated thing. It was like a crimson red thing going on.
Yeah.
A lot of people walk around in masks and things. A lot of ugly ducklings dressing as swans.
Lots of masks, so what, eyes wide shut, holes wide open?
Oh, yeah, eyes wide shut. A lot of, I don't know, canker sores. That's what it seemed like. But there was also some really nice, but the show was good. Everyone was very attentive. The crowd, very nice. It did feel very much like, a corporate event, a lot of round tables.
Sure.
And it was a bunch of, like, horny adults for, like, at a homecoming, because they're all wearing, like, vests and, like, red vests, the crimson ties.
Yeah.
A lot of bad choices. And clothing, but they were all very cool, and I got to have a fun set. Got to bring up Tabari. I watched him for a little while, and then the Bengals were playing too, so I had to watch that. I stepped out and watched them, but it was fun, very nice. Thanks to all the people that hung out and were very. I did not mean that as a pun. Thanks for all those people that came, and I'm sure you guys had a great time.
You sure with that pun, too?
Yeah,
Come on.
I know. But that was a good thing, too, because, like, we clearly weren't, like, the final entertainment of the evening, so we got to go on early, and that's why we got to catch Billy's, or at least I did. We went there, and, it was fucking great.
Yeah, it was great.
The swingers are cool.
So it'd be really weird if they weren't nice. When you walk in, they're rude, and they're kind of just,
it's like, I'm eating ass here. Come on.
Leave me alone. I'm trying to pull out my orgy tart.
Yeah, this guy's being a little crude. And it's like, as you got your knuckles, like, in every, a bunch of different people.
Can we get a clean show, actually?
Yeah, we were, like, the appetizers for, like, the stand-up 69. So... Yeah, it was a great time. Talked to a handful of people. That was pretty nice. There was one guy that was missing like an eye, and he had he was in Iraq, I believe. Very nice buff dude. Talked to him for a little while.
So and later he was in Irene?
Yeah, he was in Iraq and Irene. Did 2 tours in Irene. But he was pretty cool. He had I think some sort of design. It was it almost looked like a bullseye on his eye, and it was very very intimidating, I'll say. Very striking.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone was very cool there. Thanks for being cool.
Thanks for being cool and knowing my boundaries.
Yes.
And then the guy's like, hey, you want to see something cool?
Thanks for knowing more of a looker and not a toucher.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but that was cool.
That's really cool. That's a good time. Dude, there's in Indiana, there's a show you can do, and it's at a nudist colony.
I've heard about that.
I would do that.
Yeah, I'm
Give
interested.
It a whirl.
Yeah, I would be interested, but having to deal with hecklers, it'd be difficult to try to shut down a heckler that's having sex, and it's that's what it's for. So you just kind of have to tolerate it and know that you're they paid you to essentially be background music. You're not going to be the star of the show.
Sure.
So you're sharing the stage probably with the audience.
Well, there's a difference between swingers and a nudist colony.
True.
Swingers, they're at a hotel. They take over the dining room. Mm-hmm. They want the continental breakfast, whatever, the next day. But they're they're still clothed. They're doing stuff. They're talking. There's the event, which is you lubing them up, and then Tabari, who's
drying them down,
horny monster. And then they go and have the drinks. They've had drinks, and then they go and they take over 2 hotel floors, and then bounce around room to room with their pineapples and their glass eyes. A nudist colony.
Pineapples and glass eyes. That's the name of the episode.
Deal. But then the nudist colony, people just want to walk around naked. It eventually leads to group stuff, I would assume, because everyone's naked all day.
Yeah.
But it's not their number one intent. Mm-hmm. Well, number one intent with a swingers gala, as I will call it, you're going in to go in later. It's the build-up.
Right.
Nudist colony. Yeah, I just want to be naked. It's not a fully a sex thing.
Yeah, it's more of like a buffet of like your expressions with your sexuality and your nakedness, whereas the swingers is more a bit of an aperitif. There's like an appetizer portion. You got things just kind of figured out. It's a plate service for swingers,
not a buffet de beef. It's you've got your build up. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. Would you ever do a show like that? You're like, hey man, we need you at the Courtyard in Springboro. We got another swingers convention.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah?
They were nice. They paid me extra. They're very cool. So, yeah, I'd do it again. They're a very attentive crowd.
Of course they hang.
Yeah, they hung out.
They hung out. They putzed around. Very attentive. Oh, man, yeah. That'd be fun. Man, how do you even get that? Just you got the call from Tabari, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think like there's some gig stuff you can find like online, and that's I'm assuming like what he had. So
Adult Friend Finder.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was Grindr. That's what he told me.
Oh yeah, I got it.
So he was on the Bumble, and then they reached out, I think, to him and said, "Hey, we need some really horny comics." So they reached out to Tabari, got me, and then that's how it happened. So people still put out like bat signals online, so it's just kind of weird how like shows can happen.
Crazy, absolutely wild. Well, they need a good chuckle before they get to fucking.
Yeah,
come on,
a little chuckle fuck.
A little chuckle fucking. That is so fucking funny, man.
Got to start the new year off right. I feel.
You got to start it off with a bang.
A bang!
Hey, come on. That's fun for us.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, that's great. I didn't have any show mishaps or really anything of crazy note recently. I watched Saltburn. That's the craziest thing I did.
I'm not sure if I know what Saltburn is.
You need to watch it.
Okay.
It's very good.
Yeah.
But when you turn it off, you're going to be like, why did Billy make me watch this?
Is it like a movie? Is it like a...
It's a movie. You can watch it on Amazon. It's about... this is all I can tell you, because then everything just goes sideways. It's a guy, he goes to college, and he has trouble making friends, and then he makes a friend, and that friend invites him to his family's mansion.
Okay. Called
Saltburn. And it's fucking wild.
Okay.
Just, I loved it, but there's some gross stuff.
I'll give it a shot.
There's some gross stuff. Well, I'll check in with you next week, and after you watch it, we have a Marry Fuck Kill to play.
All right.
Okay, because I've been playing it all week with people that have seen it, and definitely watch it. Lauren will like it.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't. Can she handle like uncomfortable situations?
Absolutely, she handles that better than I think what I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you bring her to the Swinger show?
Yeah, she stayed there. She said she had something going on. She said she's going to be third floor management. I don't know. She said a whole gang was coming over, and then I don't know. There was a bunch of tarps involved. I had to get out of there. No, she likes that stuff, like The Sinner. She's watched that before. There's some of those shows like where you watch, especially when it deals with like very awful sex situations.
Sure.
It just makes you just feel like terrible. At least for me, it's just like, I just start squirming. It just doesn't feel like a lot of those shows. It's like, man, I don't feel better after watching this.
Yeah.
But I'll watch Saltburn.
You'll feel better after you watch it. You'll feel like a better person.
Okay.
It's great. It's fantastic. Putting some salt in the wound. Shoto Iwamaga. I think I said that so wrong. The guy, he was the number 2. Oh, is that a burp? Okay, close.
Something's coming out.
You know what? I'm gonna double check it before I butcher it again. Just to meet Shota Imanaga. 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 Is that how you say it?
That's how it sounds.
That's how it sounds to me. If I'm wrong, don't fucking correct me.
We tried.
I read it. So the Cubs finally went out and made a big signing.
Yeah, before they didn't really do much of anything.
No, it's like 5 years, $15 million each. So that's Like, was that $85 million? I'm not here to do math right now.
It's all deferred anyways.
It's all deferred. Yeah. He's getting paid in Italian beefs.
Yeah.
Italian beefs. Oh, man.
Oh, I can't remember. There's no I can remember.
Who knows?
Coupons to Beef O'Brady's. I'm not sure.
Beef O'Brady's.
Go to Beefs.
Beef. Big Al's. Al's Beef is the big one. Al's Beef. God. And then the shitty fucking deep dish. Deep dish is shitty.
Uno's?
There's Uno's, but there's another one. It starts with a D, and it's really pissing me off.
Domino's? You better not be shitting on Domino's.
No, I would never shit on the Domino's tracker. All right, now I have to do the quick Google, deep dish, Chicago, and it's going to piss me off when I see it. I guarantee it.
Dennis Eckerly's?
Giordano's! That's it. Giordano's.
All right.
Yay. I'm glad we figured that out.
Thank you.
That's
now
how
we
he's
can move.
getting paid.
Yeah. Everyone's like, show us your Giordano's.
Giordano's. Put it up on the screen. But yeah, they finally signed a guy. He's, MLB Trade Rumors said a 3 to 4 starter. Someone who writes for Baseball America said more like a 4 to a 5. 90 to 95 mile an hour fastball. Probably some wild off-speed stuff. I would also have to assume. Does this do anything for you with the Cubs? Does this move the needle?
Yeah, it does, baby. It does something for me. No, I think it's whatever. They're not really doing much. I think the Reds are on track to have a really good season. I don't see the Cubs doing much in the way of being competitive next year. No. So. Knowing since I'm in the Discord with the ranters from San Ranto. That was a wild statement for me to throw out there.
That was insane. That's bulletin board material right there, dude. Dude, I bet that Christopher Morel is going to see this, clip it, and just put it on his locker. Just be like, man, they said we aren't going to do much, boys.
Well, I mean, they got this guy. That's fine. I'm just like, there's not much to really talk about them with the offseason. But compared to the Reds did a lot more.
They did a lot more. But there's still time, like I was saying with the ranters in the Discord, and I've been trying to talk them off a ledge, which is like, there's still like half of the offseason to sign people. And boom, they go and they get the other starting Japanese pitcher that was available. It doesn't move the needle for me, but it does indicate that they have been patient and that they are going to spend money. If they spend and they bring back Bellinger, because it looks like it's just Bellinger and the Cubs and the Giants, and then Rhys Hoskins is another rumored guy they're going after to play first. Does that even move the needle for you? Because then it's what? They've got a 4 or 5 starter, they have an everyday first baseman, and then Bellinger playing center. Does that tickle you a little bit more?
It moves it even farther down.
Yeah.
Less. No.
Talk shit.
No, I don't ever want to sleep on the Cubs. They're a really good organization. They got a ton of money that they can pull from here, and they're coming off a down season, so I know they're going to have a lot on their shoulders. As far as wanting to redeem themselves and then pay service to the fans. So I can see them making more moves here and catching up to where the Reds and some of the others in the division have spent.
For sure. I mean, shit. They finished 1 game better than us. And it's like, okay, and they still don't have a closer. They haven't addressed anything in their bullpen, and the bullpen's been their biggest problem. So if they go out and they wait until late January, early February, and swoop up some of those dudes that we talked about, like David Robertson, they somehow swing and get Josh Hader.
Yeah.
Then I am concerned, but until then, I am not concerned that the Reds will still win the division.
Yeah, I mean, that all sounds pretty logical. Yeah, I'm right with you there, buddy.
Thanks, pal.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. I'm glad you're right behind me on this one.
Yeah.
Really rearing me on this take.
Yeah, I'm not concerned with them right now, but there's still plenty of time. I mean, it's still plenty of time left in the off season.
Yeah, well, not for the Reds. They're done, baby. It's over.
That's what he said.
Kaput, toast, we're done. I'm fine with it. We're fine with it. It's fine. They're done. They'll pick up, they'll get some $1 and $5 lottery scratch offs, and just be like, minor league deal, invite to camp.
They spent more than I thought they were going to, honestly. It came out of nowhere, seemingly, because I didn't have those guys on my radar.
No. But no, what's so funny is all of the dudes that we wished for on our list, none of them became Reds. Which is fine. in Crawl I trust for sure, but it's still a little surprising. But what did you think of the Frankie move? Because Tyler and I talked about it last week. I haven't talked to you about it. Frankie Montas, 1 year, $16 million from the Yankees.
Yeah, that'll be fucking pretty cool because they're adding depth to the rotation, which was an issue last year, and that was something I didn't expect them to spend that amount of money for a 1-year deal, but that does signal like, hey, if they're willing to invest that much right now in the offseason for a 1-year deal, that gets me more excited.
Yeah. Hey, it's only money. That's not ours.
True.
It's only money that's not ours. So.
No skin off my back.
None. I'd rather them spend than trade away prospects and pay someone, and it doesn't work out for 1 year or 2. So, one thing I really wanted to talk to you about and kind of focus and haul in and circle the wagons around.
Okay.
Is Jonathan India and what his role is going to be this year. Looking at it, I think that the Reds signaled I was wrong with the Jammer Candelario signing, saying that was a full indication that they were trading Jonathan India. I was wrong. I'll admit that I was wrong.
You better.
I'm a man. I'm a man.
I'm never wrong on this. This guy over here, on the other hand,
he makes some mistakes. It was more telling that when they signed Jammer Candelario, that they weren't going to trade Jonathan India, but instead they were going to non-tender Nick Senzel, which they did. Again, Shohei Ohtani and Nick Senzel are making the same amount of money this year. I want you to let that settle in for a minute.
Yeah, nothing crooked about that.
Nothing at all. Nothing wrong. Totally all by the books. But that I think that Jonathan India is going to be your Chris Taylor / Nick Senzel for this squad.
It's either that or he goes to a different team under his own accord because, I mean, he's already invested, into an outfield glove and a first baseman's glove? Yeah. Whereas previously, he's like, no, I'm going to be a middle infield dude. But now he realizes, like, hey, what's best for the team is for me to figure out positions where I can play when some dudes need a rest because he's going to be a liability, at second base when we have like Matt McClain and all these other great, hands to work with. So
yeah, I mean, defensively, one of the worst second basemen in the game. But on top of that, it's like, well, you need to learn to play first. You already played third. You came up playing third, now second. You played second to a pretty high level. And now you need to learn left and right field because first base is log jammed. Second base is log jammed. Third base is log jammed. He can't play shortstop. So it's like, well, then let's look in the outfield. And you go left field, Spencer Steer, then right behind him. That is where you put Jonathan India. Center field is a little tricky though. That's where I'm trying to figure out where we have any depth because that's where Friel is. And then who else? Stuart Fairchild?
I mean, hopefully not. Hopefully we can shore up maybe another bat, somebody for the outfield. But, I mean, that's going to be a position that we'll probably see Jonathan India play out there. If we have a matchup that we think works best for him to be in the lineup or somebody does need a rest or, there's an injury. We saw plenty of that last season. So, yeah, I think that's going to be the best way for him to make an impact on the team this upcoming season is to be a utility player.
Sure. I agree with you. And right field, Will Benson, Jake Fraley, and then you can throw Indy in there. So there's an opportunity for him to see and get a ton of ABs, but it's like you'd rather play your guys that are going to be here for a while. You'd rather play your McLeans at second. You'd rather play Novi Marte or Jammer Candelario at third. Instead of being like, I kind of know what I have with India. And at this point, in the past couple years of this track record, you can almost bank on him missing a good chunk of the season.
Yeah, so him playing an everyday player you can't really bank on. And I do think that he could potentially be a good high leverage situation. He could be a great bat off the bench. He can be a dude that he seems to thrive on those big moments. So I can see him succeeding well if the Reds keep him throughout, the year and see if they just have him come off the bench.
Yeah, And also it can increase his trade value over the seasons. Like, man, if he plays, the deadline this year, I think they said it's set for July 31st. So if he's playing well and he's playing, all over the infield and some of the outfield, and he's played in 64, 65 games up until that point, you feel comfortable being like, hey, man, you get this guy for a couple more years, couple more seasons under ARB, and then go, do whatever you please. But, this is quite possibly the worst time to trade him, too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the only spot that I can see really working out for him.
Yeah, I don't think the Reds are going to try to play him just to beef up his trade potential, because you just have, a really strong group of infielders that would just be taking a position away from one of them. So, yeah, he's going to have to be a utility player if he wants to see any playing time in the field. And up until, the All-Star game trade deadline, we're not going to see a move made.
And what's also interesting, we haven't talked about this. We didn't talk about it last week, and I forgot to bring it up. Novi Marte shut down for the rest of winter ball in Dominican. He messed up his hamstring.
Yeah, it's a bummer. Do we know the extent of that? Was a messy. I know it's a hamstring situation, because those are always hey, it's going to take weeks.
Yeah. We don't know much, but they say he's going to be ready for spring training. Again, you can say he's going to be ready, but will he actually be 100%? We don't know. So there's another thing where it's okay, that's where you need India to be all right, well, you're sliding in over here until he's 100%. Or if he's still recovering and it's you can send him down to AAA.
Yeah, you're not going to want to rush a guy back from a hamstring injury. That's something where you're going to need to rest it every once in a while. So another option for India to get some playing time.
Yeah, 100%. And what has he done? He went out with that plantar fasciitis last year. And then year before that was hamstring. Then got drilled at the Field of Dreams game in his calf and then almost exploded.
That was a very weird situation.
Yeah, they had to air care him out.
Yeah. God. Field of Dreams, baby! Lost my calf.
Well, I'm feeling these dreams and they hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Ah!
No, that's the morphine we have you on, Mr. India.
Oh, the corn's talking. So it's yeah, man, you can't just bank on him. So it's well, there you go. Here's how this is going to work.
Seriously. And again, I mean, the injuries we saw last year coming into play for not just the Reds, but, a lot of other teams. Yeah. So depth, not just with pitching, batting and fielding.
Batting, fielding, all the stuff.
Uh-huh.
This is how we talk about the Reds in January.
Don't forget to pack extra balls. When you first get out, you don't want to be all the way down in Florida and realize you only got 12.
Yeah, and make sure to bring icy hot. It's just nice to have it.
Yeah, you're going to need it. It kind of smells nice, too.
Yeah, it tastes good, too.
Yeah.
Does it taste good? Also, something we missed, Hector Rodriguez, Reds, 16th prospect, named Dominican Rookie of the Year. Hey!
Cool, congratulations!
Good job, buddy! His slash line, 309, 344, 487 with an OPS of 831. That's pretty good!
That's nice, man.
Dude, he's 19.
Digging it.
We got him for Tyler Daquin, and a guy who was going to be a free agent at the end of the year. Dude.
I love it. Keep these young kids coming up here. That's awesome. The fucking future looks bright.
It's getting brighter, baby.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jose Barrero, not so much. Man, 221, 323, 312 in 30 games so far with 94 plate appearances. Ouchie, wouchie, not good.
Yeah, bummer. Still have a lot of faith that guy can turn around. He's such a good athlete. You want to see him doing well. I don't like seeing those numbers.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I hope he turns it around. I like that guy a lot.
Yeah.
Highly touted. He just, it just hasn't happened yet. You feel bad for him, but sometimes it's crazy to say this, doesn't work out.
Yeah, sometimes things just don't work out. Life is strange that way. But he's still super young, got plenty of time to click there, and who knows what's going to happen.
He is young in the terms of youth and like age, but he is 25. You kind of sort of need him to figure something out in AAA this year.
Yeah. Do you think it's going to be a situation? I know we're kind of jumping around here, but do you think it's a situation where he's got a lot going on in between the ears with the amount of depth that the Reds are dealing with?
Sure.
And he was once kind of a top prospect that a lot of people were talking about, and all of a sudden he's not even brought up in conversation.
Could be.
Seemingly.
It could be. He could be overthinking it. It could be a head thing, and that's something where you like, you go to talk to the sports psychologist, you figure it out, and you get it together, and hopefully something clicks. I really hope that something clicks for him this spring. I don't know what the issue is. I haven't watched any Dominican ball. We barely watched it last year. You know where he could go, and I think they were playing him there last year. That could really help the legs.
What's that?
Center field.
Woo, yeah, let him stretch it out.
Stretch it out. He's got the speed. He's an athlete. I'd rather have him in center field than take Ellie from shortstop and put him in center field.
100%.
You can risk it with this guy.
I'd rather have him out there, too, than Chris Fairchild.
Stewart? Chris Fairchild. Did you confuse Chris Fairbanks and Stuart Fairchild?
Yeah.
There you go. I knew where you were going.
I'll do it again, too. Stop me. I'll mispronounce so many goddamn names. I'm going to give a shit.
Oh, Chris, I'm never wrong.
Yeah, that's me.
That's me. I'm never wrong.
You've heard of me.
Yeah, you're a legend in the streets, dude. Yeah, dude. That's something I would like to see and see what develops. And maybe there's some off chance that they sign the guy who's on a minor league deal, who's an invitee, goes crazy, and there you go. You're like, oh my gosh, that's the Reds' backup center fielder. Kind of like what happened in 2018. They've signed this guy. He goes absolutely crazy in spring training. They're like, what do we have to lose to play him at second? And then has one of the best year-and-a-half stretches of a baseball player in a Reds uniform. You know what I'm talking about?
I think so.
Scoot, baby.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, and then he blew up his hamstring and then was never the same. But he holds a place right here in my heart. Oh, I love that guy.
Yeah, it was pretty nice.
He was pretty great.
Had those 4 bombs.
God, he had so many bombs. I think he had didn't he have 18 in that year-and-a-half stretch? 19.
He had something like that.
I'd have to look at this Baseball Reference, but it was.
He was magic for a year.
Yeah, dude, he surely was. Here we go. I've got it pulled up right here, buddy. Bang, 2018, dude. In 154 games, 310, 357, 490, OPS plus a 125, 92 ribs, 30 doubles, 23 homers.
It's just wild.
Dude, he was so good. And then even the year before, 2017, 295, 342, 531 in 141 games, 27 homers, 97 ribbies. God. And then just the hamstring exploded. And then he was, he played in 21 games for the Reds, and they shipped him off to San Francisco.
Yeah, they're just drops.
And combined in 142 games, 226, 245, 323 OPS plus a 46. I mean, he was just bad. It just disappeared.
Yeah.
One we'll never figure out.
He had some nice numbers there, though.
Yeah, he did.
For a hot minute.
An incredible stretch. An incredible bonkers stretch. So we talked about people that the Reds signed no one from our list. And one that we wanted, who ended up getting signed, Teoscar Hernandez. 1 year's $23 million, signed with, say it with me, everybody, the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Satan.
God.
And then how much of that is deferred?
So out of the $23 million, $15 million of it is getting paid to him this year. So that puts it at, 10, $8 million of it's deferred.
You got it.
Deferring $8 million, at this point, as much as they fucking spent, what is that $8 million gonna do?
Nothing. I mean, they have more money than God. It doesn't really matter.
No,
they're like the Federal Reserve. It doesn't matter. They can just print it.
Yeah, they can just You can get your Dodger bucks.
The Federal Reserve is borrowing money from the Dodgers.
Yeah, Joe Biden's calling them up. It's like, hey, can you print me more money? And they're like, go get you some more Dodger dollars. Hold on there, pal.
Get me another ball cap, too.
Send it on over.
Make sure it's backwards.
When did Joe Biden becomes George W. Bush?
I only got a few I can do.
You got that one? Okay. My Joe Biden's just like...
My Joe Biden's just memes are just like looking at the sun. It's not words.
You have to like really squint your eyes.
Say Jack and lick an ice cream. Tell you here, Jack. Licking your lips.
Yeah, you have to own aviators.
Aviators.
Cool world, like a bomber, like a sick leather bomber jacket.
Smelling kids' hair.
Oh, that's a hobby of mine.
His name was Popcorn. Bad dude.
That dude, Popcorn Willis. So I just think it just sucks that they just keep adding. And they just keep going, and who knows? Maybe they'll sign Josh Hader and it'll all be deferred. Because he's like, I just want to win, and everyone's like, I just want to win. And the funny thing is everyone could go over there and be like, I just want to win, and then they don't fucking win. That would be awesome.
That is so sweet. That is one of those things. It's hard not to root for their demise as soon as you see like how unfair the playing field is, and it's rigged in their favor from the top down.
Yep.
So I mean, fuck this team so hard.
Yeah, I'm sick and tired of people's takes going like, your team could do this. Your team, they all have the same. No, my team can't do this.
Just pick yourself up by the bootstraps.
It's a good thing we're paying players. If you think about it, we're actually not paying them. What they're doing is they're paying them less down the road as inflation catches up with the rest of those contracts. It is such bullshit. I hate that take. I hate it that they're like, out here, we're spending money. No, you have IOUs. Basically, what the Dodgers have done is gone up to all of these players and they've given them a briefcase, like in Dumb and Dumber, and they open it and there isn't money in there. It's just like, what, an IOU for ice cream?
Gonna want to hold on to that. That was from Joe Biden.
That was from Joe.
That was Joe's.
IOU for light blue and orange tuxedos.
Yeah.
It's like that. That is what's happening. And who knows what they do next, but I want them to be done.
Yeah, it's getting crazy. I mean, the people that are running MLB, a little lost in their own sauce.
Well, they aren't lost. The problem is that it's all in the CBA. They agreed upon it, and then the Dodgers were like, well. You know how we have a multi-billion-dollar TV deal, unlike a lot of other clubs. You know how we have a global reach, unlike a lot of other clubs, and spend and sell a shit ton of beer, shit ton of hot dogs. All of our games are always sold out. We can charge $800 to just look at our parking lot.
Yeah, they have Scientology backing them. This is insane.
And people are like, well, your team could have done this. No, they couldn't. The Cincinnati Reds could not have gone to Shohei Ohtani and been like, hey, bud, do you want to come play by our stinky river? We'll give you $2 million a year and the rest is deferred, and we'll pay you out in Skyline gift cards. Not happening.
No. We're just not competing.
No. Oh, it's just infuriating. So Teoscar goes. His bat speed's incredible. The guy pounds the baseball. He might swing at stupid shit, but guess what? It doesn't matter when everybody else in that lineup doesn't swing at stupid shit.
Yeah, you can swing away in that lineup.
Yeah. Mookie, it doesn't matter because you've got, you're going to be...
Freddie Freeman.
Mookie Betts, Shohei Ohtani, Max Muncy.
Yeah, it's going to be fun seeing them not make the playoffs.
James Outman. God, I hate him.
They'll be getting out in the first round. It'll be super fun.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome if they won like 127 games.
And get swept in the first round. I can see Clayton Kershaw right now just crying.
Again. Oh, God. Well, he's, I guess he's not back till June, so they'll sign him and they'll be like, hey, do you want to sign a 1-year, $100 million deal? $99.7 million of it's deferred. God.
For you to come in for an inning and a half and give up 9 runs in the playoffs.
Give me that. I want that. Give me that right now. So it's just ridiculous. It's almost as ridiculous as Trevor Bauer's apology tour.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's hilarious.
And if you haven't seen it, it's just him apologizing. He's got a tail between his legs.
I'm so sorry.
And regardless of how you feel about the conduct of the lady that they're currently talking about, there was 2 other situations.
So he's got a total of 3 ladies that have filed stuff. 2 of them have been settled and done with. Mm-hmm. And then 1 they're still in the process of dealing with. Those are the words from Mr. Bauer himself, which are 1 we're still dealing with.
Yeah, when you can't legally say something at the time, that's never a good situation for your defense. You know, it's like, I'd love to talk about the situation of how I'm not a complete monster, but legally I can't get into it. But like he like attracts all this sort of attention and these sorts of people with these sorts of behaviors, so it's not uncommon for him to be around this sort of ilk. So even if he is like innocent for this situation, he still did a lot of nefarious things to even get close enough to where that could happen.
My favorite thing was a part of either the WFAN interview or the Fox News interview, because that's where you go to say that you're sorry is Fox News, and to say that the suits were rigged. But my favorite part was him just going and being like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm no longer participating in casual sex."
Oh, I missed that.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, right. And that was such a lawyer line. It's like, make sure you say the casual sex line. Our case hinges on the fact that you're a reformed individual that no longer punches women in the face. Regardless if it's consensual. Do not say it was consensual donkey punching.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Just say, I am no longer participating in casual sex. Instead, I'm entering into the draft to compete in professional sex.
Yeah, it's no longer casual. It's professional. It's paid. I need to start like my own W-2. I need to get that going.
Yeah, he's an independent contractor.
Hey, that's nice.
Thank you. Tip of the cap. But yeah, dude, it's so freaking funny. That, and then saying he's like, I was wrong for saying all those things about baseball and my employer, and I've looked and I've reflected and I've really grown up, saying I shouldn't have said those things. I shouldn't have called out my boss like that. I 100% guarantee you, he does not feel bad about those tweets. He is just saying it because he wants a job again.
Absolutely. There's no part of me that felt that there was any amount of sincerity with that interview that he gave. I mean, none of that was the body language I have ever seen from Trevor Bauer.
No.
But, I mean, if you really want to fuck up your algorithm, you can watch that interview on Fox Nation.
Fox Nation!
Yeah, bro.
You know what? I would much rather be in Nasty Nation than Fox Nation. Tell you that right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. A lot more of us know how to read.
Very true. We welcome all sorts of people.
Mostly vaccinated. Anyway. So, yeah, dude, what was the other thing with that is, he said that, and then the suit he was wearing looked like his mom picked it out for him.
Yeah.
His body language, too, he was, hunched over, and he was like, yeah, I'm just, really sorry. I'm really sorry.
He was drawing, on his kid's plate that he had in front of him. I didn't mean to.
Can I draw on the desk?
Yeah, it says, I love you, Dad. Yeah, it was so dumb. And it was funny because, the Fox News anchor, they made sure to tell you he's from the Los Angeles Dodgers, that they were canceling this poor young boy's career.
Yeah, this innocent millionaire.
It was funny because they were talking about the first case, and then Trevor gave his whole spiel about, I'm so, none of that was, happened. It was really, really sorry. And they're like, okay, and what about the other 2? He's like, we cannot talk about it.
Yeah, no, well, the other two of them are settled. This one isn't, and I can't talk about it.
Yeah.
And thank God I countersued her so I could get the video. It's just no matter what, you're still going to look like a dork.
Yeah.
You're still going to look bad. And even with that one case floating around out there, if you sign him, the guy is still going to bring in his steady cam and film himself and do his vlogs.
Yeah.
He's still going to be the Bauer brand.
Even taking out all the stuff we were just talking about as that case, he's still a douche. Like, he's still bringing in this douchey atmosphere, promoting his brand, and is being constantly like the center of attention, and seemingly not a good mix for anyone's clubhouse. And this is before these allegations, is what he was saying.
Yeah.
So fuck him.
I don't see him changing, and I feel like, you know, this is the people are like, this is the last thing he needed to do before a team could be like, yeah, you gotta sign him. I'm like, no, baseball doesn't want that distraction. Baseball doesn't want to have a negative cloud, a big black cloud over it, with him being like, well, this guy, you know, he wasn't allowed to play because of the thing, and then there's still a thing, when the focus right now is the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Exactly.
In doing all of this and building all of this positive momentum, albeit, like, you know, a ton of eyeballs on the sport, getting ready for day one when that super team takes the field that we hate. But they don't want to defer from that and having any news come out with just, Bauer's back. He's pitching for the Miami Marlins, and then every day we hear about it on SportsCenter.
Yeah.
Or somewhere else. It's just like, has that case been settled?
You thought hearing about Taylor Swift in football was obnoxious.
Oh.
You will never hear the end of Trevor Bauer, and he's a legit bad person. I'll go on record as saying that.
He's a legit bad person. You know who else is a pretty bad person? Wander Franco.
For sure.
Woo, buddy. He is screwed.
Rightfully fucked, this guy.
Dude. I mean, there's no way he comes back and plays.
Yeah, he's never going to come back and play, let alone probably never step foot in the United States again.
Yeah.
That's how fucked he is. He fled the country.
He stayed in Dominican. He was just hopping around. He was just out in the water, just flying, squirreling around, you know, dodging the authorities.
Oh, yeah.
You know how innocent people dodge the police.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so a lot more worse stuff came out that was already horrifying about Wander Franco.
He knowingly knew she was 14. You know, he checked her ID, and then he let her into the club. That was one.
I didn't realize it was at the club. Was it the clubhouse?
No. I'm saying the club being Club Franco.
Oh, okay.
Into his life.
Okay. For a second, I was like, oh my god, did it happen like in the fucking clubhouse of Tampa Bay? That'd be
that'd be gross.
Yeah, that'd be wild,
dude. If something that's something that would never come out, ever. Period. End of story.
Yeah.
Ever. If it did or didn't doesn't matter, because I think it all just took place in the Dominican when he was down there. Knew she was 14 and said that he knew it was wrong and that he was risking everything, but did it for the thrill.
Wow, dude. That's effed up.
That's wild. Did it for the thrill.
And it doesn't get any better because the mother knew about it and was requesting a certain amount of money. Uh-huh. So the mother was co-signing on this horrendous crime of her daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're charging her with, like, money laundering.
Probably getting off a little light. I mean, it's also, I would say, I don't know about it, but trafficking, that's like the first thing my mind goes to.
They're both getting slapped with trafficking.
Yeah, okay.
Dude, you did it because you enjoyed the thrill. Go skydiving.
There's so many ways to get a thrill.
And you have so many options. Do what Mason Bumgarner did. Pool riding. Go snorkeling. I don't know. Drive an F1 car around a track a couple times. Don't find a thrill in a child.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Go hang out in the bed with Trevor Bauer. See what happens. If you're really looking for a thrill, I promise you that is less fucked up than what you were doing.
Dude, he heard about Epstein's Island and he said, wait till you see what I can do in this country.
Yeah, he's trying to start something in the Dominican. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this was awful.
It's fucking wild.
And this is probably something else you probably the MLB will not want to talk, obviously not want to talk about. So
no.
Probably hear less and less about Wander Franco and hopefully less and less about Trevor Bauer, because there's no good outcomes for them, and they don't really, especially for Wander Franco.
Okay, question.
Yes.
Would you rather talk about Wander Franco and Trevor Bauer, or how much better the Dodgers are going to get. Because no matter what, all fucked.
Yeah, we're getting fucked either way.
Either way. Boy, howdy.
Man, I'd probably rather talk about the Dodgers because, like, I could keep talking about how much I hate like them from like a capitalist standpoint and them rigging a game that I love. Where this is just like it's just depleting of your emotions. It's terrible. But yeah, the Dodgers. I can talk about how much I hate them all day.
So what's crazy with this is they're lessening his charges, but it still could potentially hold up his visa. He won't be able to come back to the United States, which means then Dodgers are on the money. The Rays can completely void that contract and get out of it.
Yeah, it's just one of those things like they've never come across like something like this before, so that'd be terrible. I mean, all this is terrible, but getting like the nitty gritty of like the contract here, you'd figure like the Rays shouldn't then have to. It'd be terrible if this guy got rewarded with that amount of money. It didn't play, and he's just hanging out in the Dominican, avoiding the charges that he would be facing here and probably severe stuff.
Bauer got his full contract.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I understand, man. It's the Dodgers, and they can probably doesn't really mean as much, but it's still like just one of those things that you can just fuck up so badly, but you're saved by. I mean, I don't know. It just seems crazy.
Yeah, no, it's nuts. And here's the other thing. With the last thing I'll say on it is MLB has still commented and said, we still have not conducted our investigation. I think the Dominican's already done it for you, bud.
Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty, it's a smoking gun here. He said so much that there's no misconstruing what happened here. So I think there's definitely a whole bunch of legal stuff going on here between the MLB, Wander, and his whole legal system, as well as the Rays.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it's going to be a while before we hear anything about it, and it'll just be very brief.
Extremely brief. It'll just be, all right, no, he guilty, he gone, bye. And then, we'll never talk about it again. But
you thought you didn't hear much about the Astros cheating scandal from the MLB. You will hear so little about this.
You'll hear nothing. The only place you can get that information, right here. That's not true. You can get it from a lot of places.
Yeah, there's a lot. It's all over the web.
Yeah, it's all over. We make it sound more fun.
Yeah. We make it more palatable for you.
Yeah. We'll give you a couple chuckles when we're talking about dating a 14-year-old.
Yeah, we'll censor out some of the sad stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I think it's just sad. It's crazy. And the other thing it kind of shows you is how tight-lipped those dudes were in the clubhouse. Because, there was the video of him with Jose Siri, I think that's who it was, and he was like, yeah, man, don't let him get to you, all this stuff, when he was going live.
Dude, yeah.
Remember that?
I wonder if, how much they actually... Because I'm sure he had to have told some people. Some people had to have known. I mean, if he's that candid about how he felt about the situation...
Yeah.
I just don't see, some of the team not knowing.
Remember when they suspended him from the team for a little bit, and they said that he needed to grow up?
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's not it.
So maybe they were trying to privately say, it was veiled, just you should probably stop hanging out with kids.
Yeah, get away from those schools, dog.
Oh, wow. Oh, boy, howdy.
Wow.
Not great. Not a good look, but you know what? Here's what matters. The Reds are going to be good this year. And we'll be here to talk about them. Hopefully something happens again next week. They make some signings or some other stuff goes down. Maybe some stuff in the Dominican Baseball League that involves our 19-year-old being good at baseball.
Yes.
And that's all that he's doing. He's just being good at baseball.
That is all the stuff we'll talk about in the Dominican from now on.
God, so funny. Next week, let's really break down this rotation of the infield. And let's see how it's all going to work out. Just a little shadowing. Is Novi Marte going to have to spend time in AAA? We'll break it down. We'll figure it out. We won't figure it out in January. We're just we're going to try and figure it out.
We speculate here. That's what we do. It's the off season.
Oh, God, and speculating is our favorite thing. Let's round third and head for home.
Let's do it.
What do you have coming up?
Commonwealth Sanctuary this Saturday. I'll be there with my good buddy Phil Pointer. We'll be co-headlining, and also friend of the pod, John Holmes. He's going to be on it as well. Come check that out if you are in Dayton, Kentucky, and it's a really, really nice newer club. They're doing good things.
Nice. I will be at the Comet January 27th, featuring for Simon Taylor, who's been on the Tonight Show. Very funny fella. Get your tickets at bombsawaycomedy.com. They will sell out. He does have a fan base. There are limited seats, so come do that. That's what I have most recently.
Cool.
Coming up. February 4th and 5th, or 5th and 6th. I'm going to be at Commonwealth Sanctuary featuring. So
hell yeah.
There's another one for you.
Cool.
Oh, gosh, my legs. I got to stretch out my gams.
We got to get out of here, gang. We're going to stretch out Billy.
You're going to stretch me out. Thank you to Sports Drink for hosting the audio of this podcast. Thank you to In the Clutch. Go there right now. 10% off. Use the promo code Nasty Boys. Get all your cool stuff. The Bengals didn't make the playoffs, but there's some cool playoff themed tees that you could get there. So definitely check that out. And thank you for letting me come and hang out in the fart dunge.
Hey, anytime, man.
Stink it up and talk about the Reds.
Yeah, it's more stank to the walls here.
And thank you for watching and listening. And as always, go Red Legs!
Go Red Legs!